Hi there, สวัสดีครับ You are watching Dr. Green Channel. Today we are going to discuss about how to install the solar hybrid inverter, solar panels, and also the battery for the off-grid solar hybrid inverter 5 kVA system. So before going to discuss about the installation, may I give you the introduction of the off-grid solar hybrid inverter. The first one is about the capacity of the inverter is 5 kVA and using the 48 volt system. The output of this inverter is the pure sine wave. The beauty of this inverter is built in the solar charge controller, which the size of the controller support the input from the solar panel up to 50 ampere and also support the high volts. And this inverter also support to charge the battery from the deep discharge, so it can recover those kind of the deep discharge battery. And the most convenience for the installation of this inverter, we are provide the power cables, so all the cables that come out from the inverter to the battery, and also the power cable that series the battery into 48 volt, we are provide those cables. So let's start to discuss about the installation step by step. The first one, you have to prepare the battery into the 48 volt, so you can connect the battery in a series, which the power cable to link between the battery has been provided in the box. So this is very convenient, and the size of the power cable is big, so to bring you the good performance and also low loss. And the most easy and also the fast to install, we provide the power cable with the finished cable lock on every cables, so you are very convenient to make a simple connect between the battery into the series. So just turn the screw into the terminal and connect the power cable immediately. So you don't need to use the clamp to connect between the cable lock to the power cable. Alright, so this is very convenient. So you can see the picture on the right hand side here. So the power cable are coming with the cable lock and also finished from the factory. So this is very standard, so you can use it immediately. So the first step, you have to make sure after connect the battery into the series, you have to measure the voltage of the battery, and after you confirm the voltage of the battery is 48 volts, so you can connect the positive terminal from the battery to the inverter. Alright, so there is the label over here written as the battery terminal, so you put the positive from the battery to the positive terminal on the inverter, and also from the negative terminal on the battery to the negative terminal on the inverter over here. Alright, so every step you have to do it carefully, no hurry. So you check the installation one by one and tighten the screw. So the second step, after you install the battery, so now we are going to install the solar panels. So for this, as I mentioned, it supports the built-in solar charge controller inside this inverter. The capacity is very big, so it supports 50 ampere, and the voltage that support the input from the solar is up to 100 volts. So In this case, for example, if you are using the solar panel with the 330 or 340 watts, or maybe up to 395, you can series the panels as a string like this, and then you can parallel all the strings and connect to the inverter. So every time when you install, so you might have your particular solar panel, which again you need to check the specification or the data sheet on the solar panel, whether when you series what will be the voltage, okay, for each string, and also when you parallel to summation all the current of every strings has to be not over 50 amperes. So in this case, for example, if I connect the solar panel with the 340 watts, so I can connect up to 5 strings together, and for each string I can connect 2 panels in a series. And once I finish the installation of the solar panel, every time have to check the voltage. Okay, so the voltage has to be not over the support voltage value for the inverter. So in this case, if we measure the voltage and it is less than 100 volt, then we are good to connect to the inverter. So we can bring the red cable or the positive cable to the solar PV terminal on the inverter here. So once you connect to the inverter, make sure you tighten the screw carefully. So if there is some losses on the system, so maybe you are not tighten the screw properly. So to make it good at first time, again you need to tighten the screw carefully, so there is no any loss, there is no any arc on the connection points, and also actually give you the good performance. So once you connect the positive cable, then you bring the negative cable from the solar panel to the terminal on the inverter. So here is the solar PV negative terminal. All right. So in this case, we might discuss a bit to recap the concept about how to connect the panel in a series, and how to connect the panel in a parallel, and how to determine the voltage value across the solar panels or the solar string that you have connected, and how to determine or calculate the current, the total current that is coming from the solar strings that you connected. Okay, so we start with the series concept. So the first one, if we connect the 2 solar panels together in a series, so this is how it connect together. So we connect, you can see that the red cable in the diagram represent the positive, and also the black color cable here represent the negative polarity. So when we connect the series, you can see the positive here will connect to the negative, and then we will have the voltage across 2 panels, which we call the voltage total for the string number 1. Okay, and if we consider the current of this string, so the total current of this string will be the summation of the first panel and the second panel together. To simplify this, we give you the equation that is shown in the yellow areas or yellow area over here. So we can see the total voltage of this string is equal to voltage of the panel number 1 plus the voltage of the panel number 2. Okay, and the output of the current of this string will be the same. Okay, so the value of the output current of this string will be equal to the current of the panel number 1 and also exactly equal to the current of the solar panel number 2. So in conclusion, if we connect the solar panel in the series, we will get more voltage. Okay, but the current will be stay the same or remain the same. And what happens if we connect two strings together? Because in the previous slide we show you we connect to the multiple strings together. So how to calculate the voltage of this solar strings and also what is the output current of this string. Okay, so when we connect two strings together, so the voltage when we connect in the parallel will be the same. So the voltage of the string number 1 will be equal to the voltage of the string number 2. Okay, so once we connect in the parallel, the voltage will not increase. The voltage will be equal to every string. Okay, the voltage will be remain the same, but the current output will be summation. Okay, so the total current output will be equal to the current from the string number 1 plus the current output of the string number 2. And also if you connect more than 2 strings, so you have to make the summation of the current for every strings together, then there will be the value of the total current output, which again the value of the total current from the solar panel have to be less than 50 ampere. Okay, so we have to follow the specification of this inverter. So the third step, once you connect the battery and also finish to connect the solar panel, now you can prepare to power on the system. So you have to press this button to make the safe power on, because when we connect the big system, for example like 5 kVA, so there might be the current, the big current come out from the battery, because sometimes you might connect more than one strings of the battery. So to press this button, keep press down for 10 seconds, and once the LCD in front has been turned on, then you can power on the battery MCB. Okay, and the next step, you can power on the solar PV. Okay, now there is the system is on and the input from the solar is now coming into the inverter. So now you are ready to use. So if you are going to use, so now you can turn the switch at the back to the output position. Okay, so once you turn the switch into the output position, then you get the power output from the inverter. So this is the off-grid hybrid solar inverter. All right, so even you live in a place where the electricity is not there and unavailable, so you can live independently or stay off the grid by using this system. Okay, and if you are using this as the hybrid solar inverter or the solar hybrid system. So you can connect the grid input or the power from the electricity from the government into this inverter. And again, this is the off-grid hybrid solar inverter, so it will not generate any electricity back to the grid. Okay, so the direction of the electricity will be just exactly the same as other electricity or the electrical appliance. All right, so it will consume the electricity, but once the solar is sufficient to feed to the load, so it will not require or take or consume any electricity from the grid. So the electricity consumption from the grid will be zero. Okay, in the case of the solar power is sufficient to provide to the load. But once the solar is not sufficient, okay, to provide the output to the load, then it will start to take some amount of the grid power automatically, and this will be calculated by the microcontroller inside. Alright, so it will adjust and make the combination, okay, as the using the solar as the main priority. Okay, so the majority and most of the time it will use the solar to feed into the loads. So you will always be save the electricity or saving the electricity bill if you are using this hybrid solar inverter. All right, so okay, so every time when you connect the grid input, you have to follow the label here carefully. So there is the letter written as the neutral, E is for the earth and L for the line. So connect carefully and also tighten the screw carefully every time. All right, make the proper installation and you will have the good performance output from the system. So if you for example, if you finish connect the cable input from the grid, then you power on this breaker, then you will get able to get the grid input once the solar energy is not sufficient to feed to the load. Okay, that we have discussed earlier. But again, if the solar power is sufficient, so there is not require any grid power. Okay, so you will be safe. So let's summarize the system diagram, maybe the simple summary for you. So this inverter basically will work with the 48-volt system. So one string of the battery, you require 4 batteries connect into the series and connect to the inverter. And the basic configuration of the solar panel will be 2 panels. For example, like 300 watts, above 300 watts, solar panel will be fine. And up to 395, 400 watts, or even 405, 410 watts also support for this case. But you have to calculate as we have discussed earlier, right? So you know how to calculate the voltage of the solar and also the current output from the solar when you connect into the string together. And once you connect the basic configuration, you can get the output. The power output of this will be the sine wave, 220 volts, 50 hertz, which is fit very well in Thailand and also other countries that using the same system. And if you want to extend the usage of the battery backup time, or you want to use more appliances or more loads into the system, you can put more batteries, and also you can add more panels. Okay, so once you add more battery and panels, you can use more loads, and also having more energy stored in the battery. So for example, if you want to maximize usage of the renewable energy, which is the solar energy, then if you have more battery, that means once the sunset, even the sunset, you still can enjoy the energy that's stored in the battery without any require of the grid input in this case. So this is depends on your requirements and the application project by project. Okay, so if you need some other additional information, you can reach our team. So let's summarize into the key features and also the safety and the protection of this solar hybrid inverter. The first one, it provides the good output as the pure sine wave with the 220 volts, 50 hertz, and this is of course very good even you are using as the power backup or the UPS, because this can give you the choice to add more batteries, okay, according to the loads that you have. For example, if you have the at the office, you want to back up your PC or the workstations to work more longer. For example, if you use the UPS with the built-in battery, maybe the backup time will be for example maybe 15 minutes or some other time that you period of time that you will have. But in this case, if you want more backup time, with this inverter, you can add more battery, okay, according to your requirements of the system. So you can have more backup time, for example, like 30 minutes or 1 hour, or maybe up to 4 hours to 6 hours. So this is the case where our customer using this the hybrid solar inverter to back up the system, okay, in the coffee shop and also in the office, because this inverter can work as a UPS very well, and transfer the switch time will be very small, only 10 milliseconds. Okay, so the switch over time is very less as same as the UPS. Okay, so and also you can enjoy more longer even when the grid is outage, because in the daytime if you have the solar energy, so your loads still can use according to the energy that produced from the solar panel and also store in the battery, so you don't have any power limitation for the backup even the grid is outage. And we have the built-in solar charge controller, which the capacity is very huge, which support 50 amperes, and the voltage we support very high voltage, up to 98 to 100 volts. So this is the advanced PWM solar charge controller, which support the high voltage. So in Thailand, for example, this solar charge controller even can charge in the early morning. So you can collect the energy from the sun as soon as the sun is rising. For example, like 7 a.m. you can already charged the solar energy into the system. And we have the great safety features and also the system protection. For example, the short circuits, the overload, the high-low voltage cut-off to prevent the battery, and also the over temperature protection, reverse polarity for the solar and the battery. And the last but not least is the built-in bypass switch. For example, if in the case this inverter have some problem, so you can just turn the switch into the bypass mode, then you can enjoy using the load even the inverter has a problem. And we have the ready-made power cable which you can deploy or install very fast and very quick and very simple. So this is some key features that we brought to discuss in this slide. So if you would like to have more information, you can reach our team to get more specification or maybe to clear your doubt or any questions. So, okay, if you like this video, please give us the thumbs up, follow us on the YouTube, and stay tuned to hear us more about the solutions and also the product that is very reliable and also give you the good performance, and especially the investment for the solutions is affordable, and it is not like expensive, because we help our customer to save the total cost of the ownership or the investment in the long run, because the solar system or the renewable energy system is the long-term investment. So if you have very good if you have the good system, of course you will get the return very fast, and also can use the system very long, and it will be the system that you can rely on. Okay, so stay tuned and see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ